And welcome to the SmackDown review. I'm Adam Wilbourn from WhatCulture, joined by Michael Sidgwick from WhatCulture, here to review everything that happened on last Friday's episode of SmackDown. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. Where we do daily wrestling podcasts where we're not going to review SmackDown, but also the show formerly known as NXT 2.0. AEW Dynamite, AEW Collision, pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a roundup of the week, complete with a big quiz, of course, on WrestleCulture. As I said, though, joined by Michael Sidgwick to review Friday's episode of Friday Night SmackDown. And I've got a feeling this was a show that I quite enjoyed because it didn't let too much of that pesky wrestling get in the way of a show. But maybe there's a reason why you prefer to not do SmackDown previews and reviews.
Yes, you know, I will say this. We know when the three of us are, at large, the three deadly boys, we know where our tastes lie and our bread's buttered. So when we do get around to reviewing Collision, Halford doesn't bother. And I similarly just remove myself from the SmackDown coverage because I'm miserable enough during Raw. So under normal circumstances, would not be here today. Hamflet would be providing a little bit of light patter and enthusiasm. Okay. I thought this show was slop. It evaporated in front of my eyes. I remember distinctly the experience of watching it and thinking, there's nothing happening here. There's nothing to the action. There is no thought. You're getting screwed at every turn in terms of like match finishes and da-da-da. All I could think about when watching this was, what do I do for an hour on Monday when Hamflet's in Thailand? What do you say? It's a poorly booked show. The wrestling is of zero consequence whatsoever. Nothing matters. Everything, I know this is episodic TV in general, but everything is a backdrop for something else. It's pointless. It's pointless. Episodic TV is pointless. This episode was pointless. Like, SmackDown sucks, bro.
A belated birthday treat for me. With that slop, with regards to consuming that slop, how do you think that would sound for me watching this show?
If you have ASMR issues, just...
hang on, I'm preemptive.
Oh my God.
Just skip forward 10 seconds. Nom, 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 nom. Nom, 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 nom.
That's the good stuff right there.
He loves it.
Loves that. Loves SmackDown. Just
love, strong word,
but I throw it around all the time, so
yeah,
doesn't matter to me. Let's dive into this show.
Sure your wife's thrilled.
Let's dive into this show. The show opened with John Cena. Well, a recap of everything that happened at SummerSlam.
Yeah, like 6 minutes of skip skis. Love the Fed for that.
John Cena comes out, back to the usual sort of babyface entrance. Montreal love him, obviously. Stu, back to the let's go to work stuff. Mark Nash does the introduction. The last real champion is here to celebrate with all the fans. He says, we've come a long way. For the longest time, WWE was afraid to come to Montreal because they thought the audience might hijack the show. But Cena wasn't afraid of that happening because he knows that the audience is the show. Quite right. People watching at home, he can barely hear himself talk, think. People want to be there. But people get concerned in the back if the crowd hijack the show and start singing, for example. Some performers might get scared, says Cena. But no, the crowd helped him through by letting him embrace and enjoy every single second. But it doesn't last forever. And of course, he's alluding to his final few dates with the company. The crowd chant, "Thank you, Cena." And he says, look, I've been coming here for over 2 decades. Shared many valuable moments in this ring. But he wants to say thank you to us.
Aww.
He has 11 dates after tonight before retirement. Every time one of these goes by, he says he gets more and more afraid. Thanks everyone for being with him on this journey. No matter how much he gives to this crowd and the fans with the little time he has left, it's not going to be enough. He's going to be concerned that after he's gone, as this business works, WWE are going to move on without him, and he's going to be forgotten. And then he turns his attention
I'll forget about him.
to Brock Lesnar. He said, look, scary proposition, but there's no universe that would ever back down against Brock's challenge. Brock now has gotten himself a John Cena problem, just like everyone in the back. He's ready to go down, guns blazing, and he calls out, if you want some, come get some. The last time's now. And out comes one of the stars of SummerSlam, Logan Paul, to challenge him. Was very excited about this. I thought, yes, this is one of the matches I want to tick off on John Cena's farewell tour.
It's a good dynamic, specifically now that Cena doesn't have the title, so there's a bit more drama to it.
And I think Logan's becoming more and more, not in terms of undeniable, in terms of like being a world champion, obviously, but I think a lot of people sort of, after that Jelly Roll match, sort of went, we hate him for a variety of different reasons, but you've got to acknowledge that he's dedicating himself to this business and he's a hell of a performer. He comes out, obviously everyone hates him in Montreal as well, and he says how much this version of John Cena makes him sick. Look, the crowd respects Cena, but he switched up in Logan's eyes. He says, look, I've always been this knobhead effectively. But Cena, as he steps in the ring, tells him he's made the biggest mistake of his life. And Paul claimed that people don't know who John Cena is. He does, and says he does WWE better than any professional wrestler, he being Logan, pronoun boy. And Cena responded by calling Paul the biggest dumbass he'd ever seen in his life. Paul called Cena a liar. He wants to face him in a match. If he's out giving matches, I'll have one. Who wants some?
I'll have some.
And Paul says, how about that, eh? Let's have a bare knuckle fight then. In a beautiful French-speaking country. Oh, I was thinking, oh my God, he's going to do it right now. But then he swerves us all by saying, Paris, France.
A good line, that.
And he continues, but it's all a ruse to distract John because Drew McIntyre, his pal from SummerSlam, Logan Paul's pal from SummerSlam, jumps John Cena from behind. They beat him down. But who makes the save? But the quarterback of WWE, your new world champion, Cody Rhodes, makes the save, clears the ring, and Cena accepts Paul's challenge for Clash in Paris.
Oh my God.
Excited for that one. And they set up the tag match for the main event. Cena concludes by saying, the champ is here, referring, of course, to Cody Rhodes.
Indeed. I will say, John Cena is over to an ungodly extent. The reaction he got here, he wasn't lying when he said he could barely hear himself talk or think in that arena. It's one of those, right, where my rule is always, this promotion could be amazing and it's unacceptable how mediocre it is. To a degree, I understand why, in my opinion. Is mediocre slop. It's because they treat their fans with contempt and they are trying to get the vast majority of those fans, and hence why they played broad and But I still just think it's kind of unacceptable that the resources they have to make something amazing, they have 10 times over, and this is what you get. So I'm always hesitant to praise them when the bar is so low. And this is very, particularly the case here because they have completely monumentally botched John Cena this year. But you have to praise them to a degree for this just internal realization and the build towards SummerSlam of, God, this is
Yes.
This is terrible. We've completely botched this. We have mangled it beyond belief.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just do a very sudden tail between the legs. Sorry, it sucked. We're telling you it sucked. John Cena's going to tell you it sucked. Babyface turn. Because the transformative effect this has had on the atmosphere in the buildings, the general vibe surrounding John Cena's character. That promo on the SummerSlam Go Home, the decision itself, in this return of Super Cena in the main event of SummerSlam, this is one of the loudest WWE crowd reactions I can remember hearing in probably years. They were like, it just felt like, the version of John Cena that they keep insisting exists that I never really got in full effect on this. In full effect, this guy was so over. Another way of looking at it, the more negative outlook, rather than praising them for, salvaging a terrible decision, was this is kind of what you could have had all along. And one of the reasons why you don't do, like, albeit incredible swerve angles is if you had this version of John Cena this over and he actually brought it in the ring like he did at SummerSlam, so people were reminded, this is why we fell in love with this guy. If you took that Cena and promoted him like so, and then told a story over the weeks and months following Elimination Chamber and maybe at WrestleMania of, oh my God, he's going to turn heel because he's desperate. And those fans clamoring, no, 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 we love you. We're telling you vocally to a deafening degree, we love you, don't turn. Like, this version of John Cena, they could have told a great, great story because they are besotted with this dude. Incredibly relieved to have this version of him back. I saw a little bit of, you're going to get it all the time with this Logan Paul stuff. A lot of people wasting a day on Logan Paul and da-da-da-da-da. You're meant to hate it.
Yeah.
You are meant to hate it. In the building.
Rather Logan Paul than Randy Orton, I've got to be honest. I know I lived through it, and a lot of people...
Well, I lived through it, and that's why I didn't want to see it again, for Christ's sakes. For Christ's sakes. It's one of those where, look...
There was 16 rematches.
Yeah, it's a joke. I will say that...
Jesus.
There was 60... There was 144 of them. Jesus! Like, Cena ain't got that Cody performance in him for the next 11 dates. The idea that Cena could lose to, like, an emerging heel, like, I don't know, Carmelo Hayes or Chad Gable maybe, or whatever. I'd have Dominic retire him. In a way, I'd have Dominic retire him, but at the same time, knowing how WWE promotes this sort of thing, it would just be like, remember when Chris Jericho, I don't know if you know this, a bit of trivia. Chris Jericho defeated The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin in the same night. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't look forward necessarily to like 15 years of Dominic saying that I retired John Cena. He might make it funnier every week because Dominic's really good at that sort of thing. So Dominic's my new pick to retire him.
You mentioned Dominic Mysterio there. I saw, I'm not sure if it's reports or just rumors, but I'm obviously heading off on tour with Switching Disco. Tickets still available, dice.fm if you want to get them. I saw reports that Punk's going to be working Dom at least at the Liverpool show. And I'm like...
He's always wanted to... I mean, he's done it before. He wants to do it again.
Around Christmas or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, they seem to have a pact together on socials of keep this alive.
Yeah.
Like, CM Punk out of nowhere will bury Dom and vice versa. So they want to build something there. Probably way more entertaining than a Seth Rollins feud. And I am not joking or being snarky. I am being 100% earnest. But, sir, as it pertains to what I was saying about 2 minutes ago, I like... Is Carmelo Hayes or Chad Gable or insert name of mid-carder who could potentially break through, pinning John Cena in a quote-unquote better match. Is that really going to give anyone the rub? Like Cena versus Austin Theory.
Gunther doesn't need it.
Gunther doesn't need it. I still expect they'll do it. Maybe they might think, if you're not in the world title picture... and it's a little bit too soon for you to go back there. And if we put you back there too quickly, we'll foster resentment. Maybe people will think it's Sami. That's one way to keep Gunther hot. So I will say, you know what, maybe he might need it because he can't be in that title picture forever. But he's the kind of wrestler who can't, like, lose a lot. He needs to be doing something big to maintain this aura. So I'd respectfully disagree with you there. But in terms of John Cena, where he's at in the ring, that miracle match aside at SummerSlam, you just want heat and spectacle, and you want that feeling of, oh no, like with all the greatest will in the world to Chad Gable, say he is healthy, who I think is fantastic and has got a tremendous amount of talent. Like, would there be true, genuine emotion of, oh, no, I don't want him to win? When he's the heel, if anything, people will be like, I hope he wins and gets a rub. That shouldn't really be how it works. So I think Logan Paul, John Cena's inspired. People do not want that dude.
Yeah.
You've got, it's just Booking 101. You've got this guy who is now, after a disastrous heel run, received unanimously as this living legend who has only got a little bit of time left versus the worst guy alive, and you don't want him to win. I mean, it's good matchmaking. It really is.
I really like it. I'm, aside from hoping that Punk or Cody takes the title off him, I'm actually looking forward to a John Cena match. I agree with you with regards to the heel turn, the heel run. The heel turn is the seismic moment. Obviously, that can't be disputed. But everything following that, yeah, you're right. I pitched at the start of the year, have him go close in like all of it. Rumble, Chamber, Money in the Bank even. And like you say, that desperation starting to creep in of like, I've set this limit on myself with these dates. And now I've got SummerSlam, maybe Survivor Series if I'm lucky. And that's pretty close to the end of the year.
Yeah.
Who knows what's going to happen? So I think looking back, obviously, I was talking to Andy about it this morning. I was like, have we done a list on like, be careful what you wish for moments in wrestling? And off the top of my dome, I was like, John Cena heel turn, obviously. God, I'd love to see CM Punk in AEW. One more match for Shawn Michaels. Just one more. Look how it all turned out.
Yeah, like, doing a crepe. Always doing a crepe.
But yeah, I think it's an inspired choice to have Logan versus Cena. And I got a little bit panicky as well. I think as the show went on, I was like, yeah, Brock's not coming out here. But,
what a shame, eh?
The callbacks to like Cody Rhodes with a random fun, what? They're a tag team in the main event. You cast your mind back to that Raw after WrestleMania when it's like he's going to tag with Brock, and obviously that never happened. But yeah, we got big developments in the main event, which we will get to. Before that, though, the Motor City Machine Guns are being interviewed backstage about the TLC match, how they're feeling, and heading into facing the MFTs of JC Mateo and Tola Tonga. And they say that their road to the top begins with this match, which we'll get to now. It was JC Mateo and Alex Shelley starting things off. But the Machine Guns double team, send Mateo to the outside. Chris Sabin hits a big dive out there, and they set up for Skull and Bones. But Tongaloa, who's also out there with Solo Sikoa, the United States champion, he causes a distraction, which allows Tola Tonga to pick up Sabin off the apron and just chuck him into the barricade to take us to a break. When we come back, Tola Tonga has Shelley in a bear hug, slams him down, but eventually Shelley gets away, elbows Mateo, brings in Chris Sabin. There's super kicks to Mateo, desperately trying to get him down. Springboard DDT gets a near fall. They attempt a double team on JC Mateo. They knock Tola Tonga down from the apron. But this allows Mateo to recover, slams Sabin. Shelley breaks that up. There's a double super kick to stun JC Mateo. But as they set up again for Skull and Bones, Tola Tonga nails Alex Shelley with a boot as he's on the top rope, and he choke slams Chris Sabin to get the 1-2-3 for the MFTs.
Oh, nice little closing.
That was completely accidental.
The match is completely mediocre, generic, whatever, kind of forgettable. Just some moves. Minimal heat. Here's something, because I don't care about the match at all, but they give Motor City Machine Guns the loss here, but they had an interview beforehand where they were like, oh no, we're still sort of like, we just need one more win, or we're determined to make something of this run. They're turning heel blatantly. Yes. Them versus Fraxium, with its established dynamic of, right, you're the younger, better version of us, but we're not going gentle into that good night. That could be something. You need to do a lot more work to get both teams all the way over. Like Fraxium almost break through that cloak of apathy that just envelops these WWE TV shows because they're simply too exciting. Fraser in particular. You could tell there's a story potential there. There's a good match on the back of that. The MFTs are just hopeless. Generally.
I quite like.
I thought you would.
I like Solo, obviously.
Solo, he's doing that face after everything he says now. Yeah, he's horrendous to watch. Not for you, you like him.
Yeah. Let's get to this Solo promo that happened post-match. So, yeah, he gets on the microphone and he says, Montreal, take a look. This is what greatness looks like. You're looking at the soon-to-be tag team champions. And I thought, tag team title match. Oh, I've just remembered who the tag champs are. You're looking at the most dominant United States champion. It's a shame, really. I'm all dressed up. I'm in my gear, ready to fight, feeling good. But nobody back there to fight me. So I'll tell you what we're going to do. Me and the MFTs are going to leave this crappy city. It is funny.
No.
This is the last place I want to wrestle. Let's go, boys. Let's celebrate. And then out comes the SmackDown GM. Can't remember what his name is.
Nick Aldis.
Thanks. He says, not so fast, Mr. Sikoa. Since you have no problem running your mouth and you claim to be ready for a fight, just so happens I have a special guest in the house tonight.
This is impromptu match number 2 for the counter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Who's already fancying a fight, ready to go right now. Someone you know quite well, but somebody who Montreal, Quebec knows very well. It's Sami Zayn.
Hey!
I like the fact he's so over that, you know, they always do this of like, oh, that match is next, go to break, and then like some stuff happens or a little screen comes up on our UK Netflix. Not Sami, just runs around in the crowd, and that's not them like, keep it going. Don't need that. It's Sami Zayn in Montreal. Incredibly popular, obviously. When we come back, we get the match, Solo versus Sami Zayn. I like Solo trying to beg off early by being like, me and you, remember being part of the ones? Huh? And he gets slapped in the face by Sami Zayn as a result. Zayn takes over, but Sikoa regains control with a shoulder block, chops him in the corner, nails him with some punches, but Zayn escapes and beats him up instead, sizing him up for a dive after Sikoa was sent to the outside, flies over the top rope that takes out him, but then suddenly he realizes, oh, bollocks, got the MFTs here now. So what we're going to do here, well, dives back in, but Tola Tonga gets a cheap shot in before we head to a break. When we come back, we see Zayn hit a sunset flip powerbomb to Sikoa from the top rope for a nice near fall. He tries to power up Sikoa, but an attempted Blue Thunder Bomb gets hit with a spinning solo from the United States champion, but Zayn just kicks out. The crowd are loving it. Sikoa sets up for a Samoan spike, but Zayn kicks his hand away, throws him in the corner, exploder suplex, and then there's a series of setting up for the haluva kick until someone from the MFT jumps up on the apron to get knocked down. JC Mateo, Tola Tonga, etc. Second time, it was JC Mateo that got knocked down, which allowed Tola Tonga to get up on the apron and face off with Zayn. But that allows Solo to obviously hit a super kick. He sets up with the Samoan spike, but Zayn turns that around. Surprise roll up, 1, 2, 3. Zayn immediately gets out of dodge before the MFTs can beat him down.
I will tell you now, do not go out of your way to watch this match. Do not confuse my mild praise with real quality. It was the most basic, processed WWE TV match you'll ever see. Elevated to a not insignificant level by 2 key factors. One, the crowd were going nutso for everything Sami Zayn did. They were besotted with this dude nearly as much as they were John Cena. It had that crucial vibe of babyface going against a bigger dude who, in this setting alone, felt like a threat because his fans, this set of fans wanted Sami Zayn to win that much. And Sami Zayn was equally motivated to perform in front of them and give them a show. I had an actual good time with what I would never really consider a good match, if that makes any sense whatsoever.
Interesting to see. Obviously, you've got...
It's just a spark to this.
Yeah. We've sort of been debating what's next for Sami. He's obviously got Rusev tonight, but I know this was just maybe just we're in Montreal, chuck him on SmackDown. It'll be a nice surprise. But then I also thought, well, got Jim Uso, got Jacob Fatu. Eric loves that, as you know.
Yeah.
So they need more friends to take on the MFTs. Maybe Sami could be another sort of honorary bloodline adjacent member, join that babyface team. Who knows? But yeah.
And who cares? He does, actually. That's.
But there are things I don't care about. I'm not just completely heaping praise on the show.
Not just a complete WWE mark.
No,
you should rebrand as WWE Adam. Let's have like an X account all about how much you think Wheeler Utah's terrible and how much you love the Fed.
Well, I've got a big tweet dropping later on today. That, if you're a fan of Paul Heyman, like Paul Grayman, that's sort of some of the class. I'm playing the hits basically.
Yeah.
But this is a new one to add to the collection, which I really should keep like a thread of, really, for when I can sort of publish it or something.
Do you ever think in the back of your head, God, this is going to get me to that 20K?
Yeah, I think sometimes when I drop these tweets, I'm genuinely surprised I don't get a phone call from Elon Musk saying, do you want a blue tick without having to pay for it? Because, this sort of stuff needs to be seen by more people.
Okay. What is your most popular ever tweet?
Genuinely, the video from WrestleMania where I announced that I'm going to be a father. Which is a nice thing.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, you do surprise me, X.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, but that was
like the antithesis.
That was pre-X becoming
the
best version of X, really. But
because I was going to say that's like the antithesis of the For You tab. That like genuinely wholesome, non-gooning, non-gruesome violence, non-Nazi content.
Yeah, I was going to say it's only my most popular tweet until I dropped my classic. Porn Twitter's kind of dropped off recently.
Okay, dude. I can't remember what mine is. Come to think of it.
You've had some bangers though for like legitimately good takes and stuff.
Yeah, I remember once it was just after Brawl Out, and then it was like, right, Cam's talking to Meltzer, Cam's talking to Sap.
Oh yeah.
Where does the truth lie? Did Larry the dog get his brains blown out, or did his teeth get dislodged, or what's going on with the dog? What's going on with this? More importantly, what's going on with the state of the company? Okay. Am I a vet? No. Am I a wrestling fan? Yes. No, I love dogs. I'm just being very facetious here. Like, I absolutely love dogs. Love cats as well. But anyway, because it was like, the whole gist was, well, which version of the story is true? And it was because it was like Kenny knocking down, the Young Bucks knocking down the door, and like Kenny Omega's need to save the dog. I had like the CM Punk side of the story versus the Elites. And one, it was like Jack Nicholson going through the door in The Shining, and the other one was Jack Nicholson with the dog from As Good As It Gets or Something's Gotta Give, one of those movies. 6K.
Fair play.
I thought, that's good humor. And then Raj Giri retweeted it, and I'm thinking, it can't be that good. Can't be that good if he likes it.
But yeah, things I don't care for in WWE is really don't care about the White Six being tag team champions and these vignettes. We had an Alistair Black one later on that I'm sure we'll get to.
We will. I had a great time watching that.
Uncle Howdy says that they'll never lead us astray. They'll always bear truth. They've shown everything that their power is just an illusion. They made the tag team division realize reality. This is all interspliced with the amazing clips of that TLC match, which is genuinely
it was class. Got you to see that.
Yeah.
That was a load of fun, that.
But it's not about mere glory. It's about something bigger. There are more lessons to be learned. Their story, written in red, is only beginning.
Was it written in red? Blood.
Probably.
I mean, you could sit down one of their most ardent fans in about 6 months from now and put them on the spot and say, right, what has Uncle Howdy said over the past however many years at this point, and what does it all mean? Yeah, what is that? It's just a lot of
I watch these segments in a very different way compared to like an old family segment from NXT, which I'm excited to verbatim write down. I watch this and I think, oh, please let someone at like Wrestling Observer, Wrestling Headlines, 411 Mania, please let someone have transcribed this, because I do not want them to sit down and watch it a second time to write it out. And thankfully they had. So thank you to whoever from one of the many sites has done that, because it means nothing. What does mean something, though, is the bump that poor Candice LeRae took.
Oh, my
God.
Gargano's reaction. I never thought that man would pop me again. And he did it.
Well, they get into an argument backstage with the Street Profits here. This is where Candice is showing the horrific the leg injury she suffered. And yet there's Gargano. He's the one with the ice pack. Oh, bloody hell. I would share it, but needs must, really, love. They get into a row. Ciampa calls the Profits a bunch of mother killers for what happened to Candice LeRae. They keep rowing, and quite right, the Street Profits say, we didn't do it. You two did. Gargano's very quickly like, yeah, it doesn't matter whose fault it is. We're blaming you. In walks the SmackDown GM. Can't remember what his name is.
It's Nick Aldis.
Thanks. And he said, well, I thought that TLC match would have sorted you all out. But next week, DIY versus the Profits. Looking forward to that.
Yeah, as long as the crowd care.
You don't have to watch it. You can preview it, but you don't have to watch it.
I'm on holiday.
Yeah, this time next week will be me talking to myself about SmackDown.
Yeah. So I'm here. I'm scheduled to be here anyway for the remainder of the working week. Then I've got 2 weeks off.
Cos, is it?
Go to Cos.
Yeah.
Cos,
yeah.
So the first week of my fortnight is just in the house with the Baines.
Okay.
And then it's Cos the week after.
So catch up on SmackDown and then
Probably not, though.
see what the week holds for you.
Probably not, though, is the thing there.
Weather forecast looking all right for next week?
That Dan check. Dare not
Sod's
check.
law, isn't it?
It's just I've moved into a house with like a decent sized garden, and it's imagine I'm just pissing down with rain. I have
some good nets, by the way, when I was out and about over the weekend for your garden.
Whereabouts?
I think I was in. We did a variety of some of the played the hits. B&M, the range, just
playing those
goated
middle-aged 2.4 children hits.
Oh my
I
God.
honestly like them.
Yeah.
No, I know my size and brand. I think I've got it.
Okay.
12 by 6.
Okay.
I think I was speaking to the missus and she was like, 12 by 6. She doesn't talk like that, really. Yeah. And yeah, the idea being, she was like, it's not the depth. It's like you're probably thinking of a football stadium size goal. First of all, it's actually smaller. But you're probably thinking of like that vast depth and it's going to take up like a lot of the garden. No. You can get them where it's like they're pop-up goals and they're not very deep. So you can just lean them against the fence. It covers up a lot of the fence. But I've told her, it's portable, man. You can put them away and then put it back up again. I've got no intention whatsoever of putting this thing down after use each time, so it'll be a pain in the arse. It's just going to live in the garden, and we're just going to be quiet about that.
Oh, I would take it down, love, but what with the rain, bloody fused together, hasn't it? Oh well, leave it till next summer. Leave it till next summer.
Now I'm looking forward to it, man.
Honestly, if we leave it out, we can build a snowman as a goalkeeper in the winter.
All I ever wanted as a kid. All I ever wanted.
Me too.
All I ever wanted was a goal with a netting. Obviously, a lot easier to get now, evidently. But I used to do jumpers for goalposts and everything, all the cliches. And like when I went to a log cabin holiday when I was a lot younger, I'm talking about 8 or 9, there was just like a goal with a netting next to it. I just made my dad all day, every day, standing goals. I'm going to score screamers past you for 5 days. You just stand there and take it. That's my dream holiday. Goal with a goddamn netting. To this day, one of my favorite things to do is just to play football with my kid. Want to play catch, son? Sure. That's a version, isn't it, for English people?
Yeah, Eric is...
Cats in the cradle and the silver spoon. A little boy blue and the man in the moon. I won't be singing that if I'm playing football with a kid.
Eric is developing at his football training.
Hey, he was in the office the other week. He's getting a good right foot on him.
Yeah, he can use both. He's better than his dad already.
He can honestly use both feet. I can attest to that.
But at training on Sunday morning, we're interested in this big gym hall and what have you. And there's always been the goals there, but they're always like put away a little bit. They hadn't really been put away. Someone's been kind of lazy. And I was like, the kids get there and it's just like, right, tire yourselves out a bit so you actually listen when the coach is saying, run over and pick up this cone or whatever, because they're not doing game day yet. And I was like, oh my God.
Project Mbappe is underway.
Yes, indeed. Project Will Grigg. So they give them they're like, everyone comes in. If you're a bit early, they're just like, here's football, just run around with your kid a bit, basically. I'm like, oh, go on, Eric, kick it mainly towards this direction, and I'll slowly back into the goal. And then effectively, you, your mum, and any other kids that fancy it can sort of take penalties.
Yeah.
And it was class to the point where I was like, yeah, training or whatever, who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
I mean, he didn't care either. He doesn't listen half the time. Doesn't need to. Probably above them, if anything.
Yeah, probably he should be doing the coaching. So football's the best in it.
It is.
And it's the worst. It provokes an emotional response out of me, probably more than whatever happens next on this program.
I'm in a very, very good mood with football right now.
I'm not.
2 games into the season, undefeated, 0 goals conceded, doing all right. We do have our local rivals in the League Cup tomorrow night. But it was a bit like when you face Sunderland. It's kind of a free hit for us. Yes, we're playing really
Sunderland,
well.
it was a free hit for, not us.
Yeah, yes. Because they're in the league above. They should beat us. They're on a poor run of form. Form goes out the window, as we know, when these sort of things come around. But if you beat us, you're like, well done. You beat us, you're in the league above us. Obviously, you should do that. But if not, we're walking on air. And we're on telly next weekend.
What channel?
Sky.
Oh, right.
Sky, we're on with the lunchtime kickoff, I believe, against, I want to say, Bristol Rovers.
That's because TNT has the lunchtimes for the Prem. Yeah.
That makes sense. So they want to put the other big teams on.
Newcastle Villa.
The Ollie Watkins derby.
The Sidgwick Markley Willis.
Yes.
They turn us over at Villa Park almost every year.
But Ollie Watkins is what you could be playing for.
He's what you call a striker, of which we have none.
Back to SmackDown, and we have the championship celebration for Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. I mean, who could have called what happened here? Oh, we did on the preview on Friday.
That's brutal, bro.
They are talking about Alexa Bliss's birthday, which you'll find actually is August 9th. It was actually my birthday when they were doing this, but whatever. Charlotte talks about how she's not just about making it about herself anymore. She wants to share the spotlight, and she reveals a hilarious cake for Alexa Bliss's birthday that says, and the tag title win, obviously, that says, "Congratulations, Charlotte Flair." P.S. Happy birthday, Alexa Bliss. I got Joe Hendry, Joseph Connors vibes from this because it was written very small at the bottom there. Bliss is like, I mean, kind of your cake, but whatever. Look, thank you. You didn't have to do this. We're just tag team partners. But Charlotte's got presents for her as well. There's a special dressed up version of our friend Lily with a We're Not Friends t-shirt on, but they're partners, so the dolls need a partner too. Remember Charlie from 4 years ago? No, me neither.
Did this actually happen or not?
I genuinely can't remember. That's 2021. That's a lifetime ago.
I was counting on you for this, bro.
No idea. Apparently so. But after...
You're the SmackDown correspondent.
It's 2021. I have no idea what's going on then. Charlotte says, you know what? You can hug me. And Bliss is like, yeah, it's not necessary. She's like, no. Hug the queen. Come on. But before she can do that, before they can hug it out comes Chelsea Green and the Secret Hervis. She says that I'm a proud Canadian, but seeing this crowd cheer for you two makes me want to turn my passport in. She says, girls were in Montreal. Judging by their love for the Habs, they don't see champions often. I think that's a local sports team reference.
Yeah, I inferred that.
I don't know what you're thinking, parading your tacky little dolls around here, celebrating God knows what. We're in my country. We should be celebrating my homecoming. And Flair says, you know, I've got one more gift for you, Alexa, and that's kicking Chelsea Green to ass.
Chelsea Green's ass.
And out comes the SmackDown GM. Can't remember what his name is.
It's Nick Aldis for the third friggin' time in hang on. Is this exclusively... No, it's not exclusively impromptu matches.
No,
more impromptus than none.
Yeah, unquestionably. But the out comes the SmackDown GM.
It's this lazy crap, this.
With a referee wearing a thing. He's another gift because it's official.
This SmackDown booking unimaginably lazy. And then that main event was the most house show, spoiler alert, house show quality and intensity match you'll see on TV all goddamn year. I'll tell you this, right? I'm kind of torn on the Charlotte Flair stuff because she continues to get, at this point, all right reactions. Mm-hmm. This felt a bit hotter 3 weeks ago, I'll be honest. It's still a miracle that they've babyfaced her. So, it's almost immaterial, the content and how good it is or whatever. The reactions they're getting are, quite frankly, remarkable. Unfathomable, some might say. The delivery of all of this material of the one friend's a bit... There's two people. They're not exactly best friends. Like, they kind of like each other. against all reason. They're getting accustomed to one another's faces. We see this in wrestling all the time, variations of it, right? The delivery of this material, Charlotte Flair's like comedic timing of, I know your name's on the cake as well, and da-da-da-da-da. It's so wonky and crap. It, I'm getting tribal. I didn't even like this stuff that I'm about to compare it to after a while, after some really good stuff initially, right? Compare this to the chemistry and the execution and the snappiness of the chat and the dialogue of Better Than You, Baby. Compared to this, they cannot perform this material. Charlotte Flair hasn't got a funny bone in her body. Like, half the time I can barely make out what they're trying to say. They're trying to do like crosstalk and witty rapid fire banter.
Oh, you go, sorry.
Yeah, that back and forth, that intentional awkward. They can't do it. They are hopeless at it. Charlotte Flair is pretty horrendous. But paradox, because it's a miracle at the same time. Do you agree that the performance is getting poorer by the...
I wouldn't say it's getting poorer. I thought this was better than what they did on Raw.
True. I'll give you that as well.
But, and I quite liked the Charlotte! And Alexa Bliss. And the, you may hug me. The doll stuff is...
The doll stuff's the pits. It's the absolute
Unless
pits.
they start talking again. Because if the dolls start talking again, that's automatically goated.
Why?
Because we get to use the voice changer.
Oh, we can still use it though.
Yeah, maybe
Right
that's
now.
how we make it interesting.
Like right now.
Maybe tomorrow, if we have something with Charlotte and Alexa on Raw, maybe, what if they said those lines, but those lines were said by Lily?
Yeah.
Won you over, I knew I would.
Yeah.
We see Carmelo Hayes.
Have you done the match yet or not?
No, it's still to come, don't worry.
Yeah. No, I'm not worried.
He sees The Miz. Says, where have you been? You left me hanging for 2 months. He's been doing American Gladiators.
Stomach.
Oh my God.
Lineup for that looks incredible. Wardlow. Rick Boogs. Camille, I think.
Sorry, Rick who?
Rick Boogs. Camille, I think, as well, is on there, perhaps.
Maybe. Better that than on Dynamite. She was rubbish.
And
she was rubbish.
It is Gladiators, which means it's automatically like top 5 dead or alive for me. Love me some. I never watched American Gladiators, so
apparently it was lit in the late 80s, early 90s.
I need to watch.
It was lit.
Hamlet's recommended a Netflix doc. On this
it didn't grab me, if I'm honest.
Okay. Well, I finished Gladiator over the weekend. Bad news. Did not end well for Maximus Decimus Meridius.
Nah. What's next? And why isn't it Boogie Nights?
Remind me of this when we get to the Flair Green match. You get through that, and I'll give you a bit. I've got a bit of a surprise for you that I need your help with, actually.
Oh.
So Mella's there with Miz. Where have you been? You've dipped out, sort of thing. You were meant to take me to the top. And Mella wants a US title shot, and Miz says, look, you deserve that, but it takes time. Look, I've been here for 20 years, and then John Cena walks back in and gets main events. I beat him in the main event of WrestleMania, which I'd forgotten about, thankfully. Logan Paul comes in and gets marquee matches. I brought him into the WWE. Look, Melo says that Miz is losing focus on the fact that the spotlight should be him, so he's going to handle business by himself. But Miz tells Melo that he's got them a shot at the tag team titles. They need to remind the world exactly who Carmelo Hayes is. He is him, and they are Melo, don't Miz, and they are us him. And Melo leaves, and then Miz clearly hasn't got themselves a tag title match, because when the SmackDown GM walks in, he's like, can I have a word, actually? Thoughts on Melo, don't Miz? Are they us him for you?
No, not remotely.
I did watch this and went, yeah, this is going to go better if it had been Hamlet on the review. This is going to be like, so she's going to look at me and be like, what do you want me to say about this?
I don't know what to say. Tell me in the comments what I should be saying. Did they have something of chemistry once upon a time, these two?
I quite like it.
They did have a bit of a chemistry.
I mean, if it gets Melo on telly, I'll take it more than what they have been doing.
It
felt for a while like
he's the latest now. It's weird. You live through all these phases. We're now getting a bit of a fan backlash phase all over again. What with, like Truth and Cross, and it's Carmelo who's getting a bit of like Come on, do something with them then.
I think if they keep wasting time, well, if they draw this out for long enough, they genuinely could have Melo bring his good friend Trick Williams in. I know they blew that up, but now with the character that Trick's playing, I think it could be fun with them too as a tag team on the main roster, although they've got quite a few tag teams on SmackDown right now, so maybe you need a draft first. Anyway, Charlotte Flair versus Chelsea Green. Flair obviously dominates early on. Green fights back, slams Flair's face on the turnbuckle, but gets hit with a chop effectively to the face. And Flair has to get rid of Alba Fire and Piper Niven. She hits a diving crossbody for a near fall, but Green kicks her into the corner and does her salute as we go to a break. When we come back, Flair even blasts Chelsea Green.
Charlotte Blair, who's that? I know who Charlotte Flair is.
Tony and Cherie's daughter, apparently. Flair hits Green with chops. That walkover clothesline of hers and a big German suplex hits natural selection, but Green kicks out at 2. Green comes back with a big boot. Flair goes up top. Green hits a superplex as she fights back. And Green gestures, bring the birthday cake that's there at ringside into the ring. She wants to hit a unpretty her onto the cake, but Charlotte Flair reverses. Hits her own one on Chelsea Green, who gets covered in this stuff, and then taps out to the figure 8.
Yep.
And then they eat cake afterwards.
Yeah.
Let them eat cake.
Yep. Let me watch good wrestling. This wasn't... just, again, the most... If you were to put this match on the penultimate night of a pretty long European tour, this is the level of effort you would expect. They got why try for match of the year when the whole premise is the heel's going to get a face full of cake?
Good stuff.
You like a face full of cake, don't you?
I do, yeah. Love it.
He absolutely loves it.
But yeah, what I wanted to mention you was, I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but it was my birthday on Friday.
So happy birthday.
Thank you. Had a lovely few days with the family. Did some nice stuff with Eric. Hopefully that will result in me and him made a design on a plate using handprints and stuff.
Aye.
And Anne-Louise drew a far better Paddington Bear because he loves Paddington. So we should be getting them out the day before his birthday.
Who doesn't? Hamflet loves Paddington, doesn't he?
It's class. Did a few nice things. Went to Cafe Neon. Big market. Good stuff.
Never been.
It's really nice. I did not need to eat tea after we went there. It was very filling. It was delicious. But yeah.
Did you get halloumi?
Had some halloumi sticks. Had some...
Love halloumi, bro.
Not shawarma. What's the word I'm looking for? It's sort of not chicken satay.
Gyros.
Something like that. It was delicious regardless. And the Greek dessert, natural Greek dessert of chocolate fudge cake to finish. And then I concluded the weekend. It was a birthday weekend, obviously. Come on. What are we doing here? Anne-Louise, I'm going to head up now. We'd been doing loads of stuff in the garden, stuff to prepare for Eric's birthday. Brought me some jelly and ice cream. Finish off the weekend. But 37 now. We're all in our 30s.
Yeah.
At least for the time being. But I thought, you know what? I'm going to try and make a list of things I want to achieve as I'm 37. Because
achieve watching a film.
Or tick off. Yeah.
Yeah.
So number one, obviously get more jacked.
I've got something to tell you.
Okay. We are going to be changing offices, and that actually might open up that opportunity for us. And literally the second thing I thought of to add to that list, third thing, number 2 was read a book, because I can't remember the last time I finished a book cover to cover. Like, just, if I've got 10 minutes after Eric's gone to sleep and I've not washed his pots yet or whatever.
Twitter.
Instagram Reels. Send it to the boys. I should read a book. Because I used to love doing that. I used to tear through them on holidays and stuff like that. Number 3 on that list was watch Tremors.
Yes.
What else do you think I need to achieve in my 37th year?
You need to watch Boogie Nights. I think you'd like Boogie Nights more than Tremors. I love Tremors. I love it. The reason why I specifically recommend Boogie Nights to you over and over and over again is because everything I know about you, like everything, your sense of humor, other things about you, you would like. It would be in your top 5.
Okay,
minimum. I just know you would.
You've got a good, 100% record because you recommended
Point Break.
Point Break. That was it.
You'd like Boogie Nights more than that.
Yeah,
You would absolutely love it. Speaking of jacked, the missus has been doing this thing 2 nights a week after work. It's not an affair. Okay. It's not an affair. At least I've been reliably informed it isn't. Maybe she's putting in the groundwork for it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Busy on Monday and Thursday nights.
Yeah.
Fairly certain it's not, but anyway. She's going to the lengths to keep up the pretense. She's doing like weight training with her mom and her sister-in-law. So it'd be quite unfair of Eileen to try and give her help her with the cover story,
yes.
But she's getting really into it, so she got some weights for the house.
With
the birthday money off, I think it was my folks, doesn't matter. So 10 minutes for now, just breaking into it 5, and then I'll go into 10 minutes. So I get a thing for these weights. The 80s Power Warrior compilation on YouTube is the soundtrack. I might get jacked.
We're going to be clanging and banging in that new office. Whoa, you got a license for them?
Look at that.
We go to the back on SmackDown. There's Kathy with Tiffany Stratton. She says, look, I'm just going to keep doing what I've been doing for the last 200 odd days, defending this title. Jade Cargill walks in and says, you got lucky, next time it's going to be different. And Tiffany says, no, it's going to be the same. She leaves.
She didn't get lucky. It was as clean as
I was going to say.
It was as clean as CM Punk's piss.
Tiff leaves. In walks the new dream team of SmackDown, Julia and one of our own, Kiana James. And James offers a card for her services to Jade Cargill, saying, look, maybe we can do stuff for you. Maybe we can get you some title shots and what have you. And Jade declines, but keeps the card. And Meechin walks in and is like, I don't mind having a
I'll have some.
shot. Yeah, I'll have some, basically.
I'll have some. Do me a favor and go on the Works WhatCulture Wrestling Twitter account.
Mm-hmm.
Just something's at the back of your mind. Can you see a picture of Kurt Angle?
On a relatively recent...
Yeah, no, it didn't go off. God damn it. Anyway, it's a problem to address when I'm downstairs. Sorry, very unprofessional.
But happy to see Kiana doing stuff on the main roster. One of our favourites from NXT days.
Love her.
And I know the highlight of the show for you came next because we got a video from Alistair Black. He said he was granted the power to use violence to stop greater violence being committed. If you think that's evil, then there's no such thing. Everyone cheered and lauded Damian Priest when he tried to put me through a table. Well, I'm not an eye for an eye kind of person. I'm a head for an eye kind of guy. Violence begets violence. And he escalated things. He broke Damian Priest's jaw, so he's going to be out for a while. When Damian Priest is pushed, he pushes back. Well, when I get pushed, I'll push you off a cliff and wait for you to hit the ground.
I love this so much. I thought it was so funny. Like, Alistair Black, maybe, they said all along, some of these people, these supernatural wrestling fans are desperate for a new Undertaker to emerge. Just absolutely desperate, right? Like, anytime someone comes out, hang on. Oh my God. Black trunks and black boots and tattoos and... Oh, is that a riff? Desperation for anyone with a heavy metal aesthetic or a spooky vibe or look or whatever. New Undertaker, new streak. Let's have 40 years of supernatural storylines. People are just obsessed with the idea of a new Undertaker, and Alistair Black kind of somewhat fits the bill. You're in luck because Alistair Black is from going to the desert school of cutting a promo here. Nice try, dead man, big man, but I don't sleep. This idea of anything you can do, I can do better. That's all. This he's been studying take of like, you can't win. You can't win. Like,
someone pushes you, you push back. How about I push you off a cliff?
Push you off a cliff, if anything. Damian Priest kind of guy, someone shoves him, he shoves back. I'm the kind of guy, shove me, I'll shove you off a cliff. Your guts will come out through your asshole. I'll just watch you careen onto the rocks below. You explode. You don't survive. That's what you get for pushing me. Damian Priest, kind of guy, got a 6-inch cock. The kind of guy with 10. So what you gonna do about that?
You know, I was in the park the other day, and I was thinking, why does a frisbee get bigger the closer it gets to you? And then it hit me. What I mean by that is not just the thought, but the physical frisbee actually hit me in the face.
I just realised we're just doing Von Wagner, but Dutch. It's recycling bits. We don't do bits, but we are environmentally conscious enough to recycle them if we did them.
I did watch this promo with a huge smile on my face. Nothing to do with Alistair Black, but when he said the line, an eye for an eye, more like a head for an eye, I was reminded of one of my favourite films, Seven Psychopaths, where...
Never seen it.
It's... you talk about... You recommend that. I think genuinely you'd love Seven Psychopaths. I think it's unbelievable.
I like them Bruges. It's the same dude.
I don't know if it's the same dude, but it's definitely... It's
them two.
Farrell, Sam Rockwell. You got a phenomenal cast. Obviously, Christopher Walken, Woody Harrelson.
Obviously, so I'm looking at it.
But yeah, in it, Sam Rockwell's character, they do the whole an eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind. Sam Rockwell's character goes, no, it doesn't. It leaves one guy with one eye. I'll just run away from the guy with no eyes left. Like, good stuff, that.
That's decent stuff. Damien Priest kind of guy, brings a knife to a gunfight. I bring about 10 bazookas. Just 10 of them. Blowing a smithereens.
Martin McDonough, yes, he is the guy behind not just Seven Psychopaths, but In Bruges.
In Bruges is good.
He basically worked with, like, Colin Farrell doing a film, is he? Sounds good.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. In the back, John Cena walks up to R-Truth, and we get a bit of two doinks, mimicry between the two of them. And Cena kind of flips the script on him. Says he was worried about Truth for a few months there. He's been weird. He'd like changed his hair. He's been mean to people. He made that kid in Brussels cry. John, that was you bloody idiot. But he's glad to have Truth back in his life, and they hug. It's just a lovely moment.
It's a lovely moment to you. To me, it is someone taking a big old fat dump, refusing to flush, and then putting a lampshade over it and going, didn't flush, but at least I'm telling you.
Yeah.
That's basically what's happened here. R-Truth is like June, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's not that long ago. It's the biggest remember when in modern pro wrestling history. What a blip.
Don't get in the way of Triple H's booking. Don't you dare.
Yeah.
Main event time. It was the super group of Cody Rhodes and John Cena versus Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre. Rhodes and Logan Paul start us off. Rhodes is obviously building towards John Cena's hot tag, but Paul cuts him off, rolls him up, drags him back to his corner, brings Drew in there. Rhodes fights back against Drew with a running power slam, but Logan causes a distraction, which allows Drew the chance to hit Cody with a Glasgow kiss. But McIntyre also provides a distraction to allow Logan to hit Rhodes with a clothesline at ringside. It takes us to a break. John Cena's still not been tagged in. We come back and, Drew's trying to stop Cody again, but he finally managed to create some separation, avoiding a shoulder charge from Drew.
Shoulder charge.
Sending him and crashing into the corner. John Cena comes in and hits his 5 moves of doom, basically. The crowd, though, like you said earlier, just white hot here. Like the 5-knuckle shuffle is just like, well, face of God stuff. Hits the AA. Drew makes the save, breaking up the pin. He tries to hit Cena with a Claymore, but Rhodes intervenes. And then John Cena just gets low blow by Logan Paul for the DQ. Post-match, Paul and Cena brawl to the back. Cody and Drew mix it up. And Drew nails Cody with the undisputed WWE Championship. And as he's trying to climb back to his feet next to the commentary table, a vicious Claymore basically puts Cody through the side of the commentary table.
That was different. I'll give him that.
Yeah, it was a good setup for the presumed title match down the road.
Yeah, good setup. I will say, this goddamn match was so nothing. It was almost impressive. Like, I could readily imagine all 4 of them getting together, they're boys. Yeah. Probably got some mischievous senses of humor. I know Cody does. I wonder if they said, it's national television. It's the main event. It's a John Cena date. Do you want to put a bet on of how little we can do here? This is almost like impressively nothing, to the point where do you get the balls? How do people stand for it? The most house show match to ever house show on a TV program. Who cares? Who could possibly care? Of more interest was what it was leading to. I will say this. Drew McIntyre. There's no jeopardy in wrestling, really, especially with a guy in Drew's position. If he, ever slipped so far down the pecking order, which I can't see happening, I think he's really good and good enough to stay at a certain level in the Fed, If that somehow didn't happen, he'd go to AEW.
Yeah.
He'd be one of the few that, in this recent phase of Tony Khan, a certain WWE talent who put an Honor Club immediately or put straight on Dynamite, it's not happening no more. Drew would get the Cope contract, I reckon. At this
I agree.
point. So there's no jeopardy. So it's always difficult to say, he needs this. Does anyone need anything at a certain point in their career, But insofar as, I think the ceiling for Drew is, can he headline night 1 of a Mania? He's never getting night 2, I don't think, at this point. The closest he was ever going to get was last year in that Punk program. That's when he felt like, if it's ever going to happen, it's going to be next year, and it didn't happen. I reckon because he hasn't done much of anything really that's hit the heights of that CM Punk program, whereas CM Punk being, a bigger star, a more interesting name, more marquee. People love the Gunther thing, I didn't, but, he's always in the conversation to do things as significant as the Drew stuff, but Drew isn't, because there was one real star of that program. I think if Drew McIntyre wants to realize whatever dreams he has in WWE, he thinks the world of himself, and I admire that ambition. Like, at a minimum, this looks like it's going to go for a couple of months.
I was going to say, I've watched this and I thought,
that's your new next one.
Yeah, we were sort of scrambling around on the preview of like, who's next for Cody.
Yeah. I did say it would be Drew.
Yeah, you did. And outside of him and Alistair Black or what have you, especially now, he's just regained the title. In all likelihood, Cody's going to Mania next year as the champion. Yeah. So you need him to do something, but you don't really want to burn through people, but you want to have still great matches. Drew's, like you said, had that amazing trilogy with CM Punk. He delivered on a match that was just kind of like, I've got nothing. You and Damian Priest want to kick the crap out of each other. Did that. Obviously, was a great supporting player in the celebrity match at SummerSlam. This is his reward, and I think, they could easily run Paris, Australia, a few pay-per-views going forward.
I will say it needs to be good, because the obvious comparisons now, if this indeed is headed for like a 3-month-ish long grudge program or title program, like the next big long thing that Cody gets into, the standard here, the expectation is Cody versus Kevin Owens, Andrew versus Punk. If this doesn't hit those heights after this sort of middling year comparatively that Drew's had, that's when he can start asking questions about how big of a star he is. I reckon he'll be motivated and he backs himself, and I do respect that. I reckon he needs something good, otherwise he's going to fall down that pecking order.
Working with Cody, you've got a very good chance of that.
Indeed.
But let us know your thoughts on SmackDown in the comments section below, or on X at WhatCulture WWE. Watch there, you can follow both of us. You can follow Michael Sidgwick at
Sidgwick.
Follow me at Adam Wilbourn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE, as I said. Make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcast from, for daily wrestling podcasts. The Raw preview is available right now. We'll be back later on with a Q&A. But for now, this has been the SmackDown review. My thanks to Michael Sidgwick. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon.